Welcome to episode 5 of Dummies at Sea, where we roll up our sleeves and get to work on the boat.
So, because a 12-volt coffee maker is fairly unreliable, and we just weren't able to find a good one that we're going to be happy with, and we can't use a 110, 120 volt coffee maker out on the anchor. It's not going to be efficient. We don't want to fire up the generator every time we want to make coffee. We decided to get a kettle. That way we just use the propane. And I really like our setup here because it stays clean. So just heat the water. We've got a little glass kettle here. Doesn't take long. And that's on our propane stove. And put your filter in here, your coffee in there. We use a paper filter, so cleanup's real easy, but it does have a reusable metal filter. And it just sits in here, this little carafe. And the great thing about this is, you only ever have water in here, so it stays clean. And when you pour the coffee in here, this never sits over a burner or any heat, so you don't get that burned coffee on the inside, on the bottom. You don't get the coffee drip on your little hot plate. So this stays really clean. She just rinses it out. And I know that might not seem important to most people. And when you're living on land, it's not a big deal to clean that. But to clean these two items after she makes coffee every day, takes very little water. And it's good for us to conserve fresh water. She really doesn't have to clean, and this she just rinses it out when she's done with her coffee with just a little splash of water, so that there's no coffee sitting in the bottom of it. So that's how we make coffee on the boat. And there it is, coffee in an easy to clean setup, perfect for those who live aboard a boat. It's just beautiful out today. So, the refit on the Polar Express. Let's go over a couple things we've done already. We repaired the ladder on the swim platform. It was actually missing one of the bolts and nuts on the side here. We went ahead and fixed the flagpole, which is inside now. We've changed all our locks to combination lock. We fixed this ladder to the fly bridge. We mounted the outboard motor for the dinghy, and again put it on a combination lock. We organized all our chemicals and put them in the locker here with the propane and put it on a combination lock. We've organized all our lines and changed all of our dock lines so that they can be untied from the boat, thrown to the dock, and pulled back to the boat, so we can get underway without Alicia ever having to leave the boat, and we don't have to leave any lines. We've taken all our anchor rod and chain and put it in the locker, and we've got our anchor mounted now. We've got new fenders all down one side. Thanks to our friend David. Shout out to David for that. We've relabeled our entire control panel. Alicia's been doing tons of decorating and cleaning. You can see a lot of her Christmas decorations here. And she's also been getting us set up with appliances like the ice maker, our vacuum sealer, our coffee setup. We've cleaned the V-berth, and it's ready for 2 guests. We fixed this closet floor. We've added an AC filter at our intake here. We installed Alicia a rod holder. We built a shelf for the printer. We installed a new floor in the other hanging locker. Again, you'll see more later in the video on that. Hey, Bells. We have our new mattress And we have a bed extension for the mattress. We removed this light and installed LED lighting. So installing the new closet floor here, we've got some 1/2 inch marine plywood, and you can see where I've put these little 2x4 blocks. I just, cut 3 of those, and the third one will go right here where this line is marked. And so what that'll do is the floor will be able to sit on those 3 blocks. It'll be able to support storage for, shoes, boots, whatever other stuff in the closet there. But it won't rest on our exhaust pipe here. And it will also allow us to easily lift it out if we need to access that area for repairs. So new closet floor is all in. Plenty of extra storage room. So we're looking at the hanging locker in the V-berth in the forward cabin here. And this is also our primary electrical panel here. Give me some light. And the whole floor is just completely rotted out, water damage. Now the leak's been fixed, but this floor's got to come out, and so I'm in the process of taking it out right now. Me and my buddy Nick. And you can just see it's a fucking mess. And then we'll get this out. We'll put some good new marine plywood in there, and get some kind of aesthetic laminate on it. It'll be good to go. So we managed to get the old floor out. Pretty much came out in about 1,000 pieces. But we're going to put the new floor in now. We're going to do it in 2 pieces so that the panels will be easily removable in case we have to access any of this electrical wiring or the lines for the steering or any of that. So, new floor for the hanging locker coming soon. So this is the test fit, rough fit. You can see we're almost good on the first cut there. And you've got to remember we're using an old moldy rotted piece of wood that was ripped out in 1,000 pieces as our template. The closet floor, new closet floor, is in. Hanging locker floor, I should say. Use my proper boat terms. So, that's it. I'm really pleased with it. So is the wife. It looks much better. It's good solid piece of treated marine plywood. It's so it's much more sturdy. The other one was just old and moldy and rotted and falling apart. And then this is our little electrical panel here. Open that guy up. Fold him back. I put that light there so that when it's folded back, it also lights up our electrical panel. This is another one of my projects I'm going to have to do, is clean all this wiring up. I like everything to be very organized. So this is, when I saw this, I almost had a heart attack. So the old closet floor used to run, the old hanging locker floor used to run all the way from this edge to the back, front to back, and then side all the way across. And so some of these, for example, those steering lines and stuff like that, some of the lines that are run down there into the engine bay and wires and other stuff. Let me try to get my flashlight on there so you can see them. There we go. You see them right back there. So all that stuff was actually, there's a bunch of different holes that were punched through that old rotting wood. We had to be real careful when we took it out not to snag any of this stuff. But I actually intentionally only ran the hanging locker floor to here because you really don't need one right there. I mean, what are you storing right there, And also, anytime you run new lines or rerun lines or trace lines, you're punching holes through it, and it's just, it ends up getting in the way. So to be honest, I found no need to have one there. I feel like it's easier and better access to just leave that part open. Majority of the time anyways, this electrical panel is closed off like that.
And so that's all you see. And yes, if it does wrap around, if you stick something way far back there, yes, there's no, you know, it will fall down into the underside. But and so here's next project. This piece is not too bad, but underneath here there's definitely some rotted stuff there. You can see it. And so that's the next project, but one piece at a time, just one step at a time. I don't know if it was detailed in an older episode, but there used to be a light fixture right here. You can see some of the holes. It was the same fixture style as this. You know, those are the original fixtures, and it had a trim piece where they hid the wires and ran down here. Alicia really didn't like it. It looked tacky. She likes to sit on the bed sometimes with her back up against this wall. That's why our only pictures are mounted real high up. So I went ahead and removed that old light fixture, and it ran down to right here, which luckily we've got a couple wires now for our 12 volt here. So I just installed these LEDs, and my buddy David actually gave these to me for free, which was really cool of him, and just said, hey, maybe you can find a use for them. LED light strips like that. And so I've got it hidden on the other side of that wood right there. Right now I just have it plugged in and run to extension cord. I've got it plugged into the 120. But these LED lights are, of course, 12 volt standard. So I'll just snip this wire right here, and I'll run my little red and black and connect them to these two here. And I just have to put a switch in between there so they're not always on. Here's the old connections. Didn't have a lot of wire to work with, so I decided not to remove the butt connectors. I mean, as long as they're still clamped down good, should be fine. And so I cut back some of the insulation so that I can work with those. And then here's my LED light strip. It's falling down a little, actually. So I cut off the plug that ran to the 120 adapter, and I've got my positive and negative leads there. I need to make them a little longer, so I've extended them. And then you can see I've used a little bit of heat shrink wrap right in here. That's you know, to protect your wire and the connection and keep moisture out. It's this little shrink wrap. You can just buy a bunch of these. They have assorted ones and different sizes and stuff. And then you just cut it to fit, and you know, hit it with the lighter. You're really supposed to use a heat gun. So we've got both of our new leads attached here, and heat shrink wrapped to protect them. And we've used our test light to determine that this is our positive and this is our ground. They weren't marked. So now, just digging through my toolbox, I found this switch. It's an automotive switch. I mean, it'll work. It's not the look I want. It's not going to be pretty. So I'm just going to wire this in here temporarily. And then I'll go get a better switch. A little station here. Notice I have a washcloth down because the wife will kill me if I get dirty tools on something. Ground's done. I just need to... You remember our insulation we cut back from the butt connectors earlier? We're going to slide new shrink wrap over that and heat that up. So we've got to do that. This is temporary, so obviously won't be left like that. But our ground is about to be done altogether. And then I've just got this automotive switch wired in right here for testing. And there we go. Bed's all lit up. LEDs are working. I'm officially done with the wiring here. Everything's shrink wrapped. I decided I wasn't going to buy another switch. I know they're only $5, but it's a waste, so I used this one. Just got to tape up that one little piece right there that's still exposed, and then mount the switch and hide all this back behind here. And you'll still be able to see a little bit of it. Of course, these wires coming down here, but they'll immediately run you know, at an angle here, and then I'm gonna mount the switch up against this white part, and yeah, there it is. And all our wires are cleaned up. And then the way this is gonna mount is just like that. So your switch will be right here. And I'm gonna cover all these wires with electrical tape and maybe some wire loom. So you will be able to see, you know, a little bit of it, but like that. It'll be mostly covered. Alright, final product. We've got it all wrapped up and tucked away under here. And you can't even see any of that normally. It's all hidden away. All you see is that little bit of black wire. And our LED strip is back here. And so you just reach under there and click it on.
And there's the finished product.
Thanks to our patrons and all of our subscribers. Stay tuned for the Q&A episode, which should be up soon. Bye!